Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I don't know why my background is so yellow or why I look yellow. Must be
Maybe you need a little more sunshine in there.
Yes, I guess so. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go
No
shut
worries.
my door.
No worries. You just got less yellow.
Hi guys. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
I hear you. Hear you.
Thanks.
I was on mute. I put myself on mute.
Awesome. We have a couple of minutes. Hopefully he gets on soon.
Hi. I'm gonna take my camera because I'm just about to feed babies.
I was going to attempt to wear something other than my sweatshirt and my hair like this and put some makeup on since we had somebody from corporate, but then I just decided, who cares?
Why put on makeup? You used to take it off.
Yeah. Hey, Natalie.
Hey.
How are you?
Okay.
Thanks, you guys, for being on. I would expect we'll have a couple more people show up, so.
Hey, Ariel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Ariel,
Yes.
can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, I can hear and see you. How are you?
good. I'm trying to set this up so it's on a good angle here.
Okay, awesome.
Let's
I'll just ask that everybody except Vincent is on mute as usual, just so all the background noise.
So I'm going to not apologize yet, but my 2-year-old is still awake. She's in the bedroom with my wife, and my dog is over here. So if you guys hear a baby crying, she's fine.
No worries. We all have kids or grandkids.
I know.
Everybody that's on here, so we all totally get it. So
Yeah. That's usually the case. Usually everybody's good with it, but I just want to prep you guys in case you hear a screaming 2-year-old girl. She's totally okay. I promise.
Awesome. Okay, and I'm recording this, guys. Hopefully it'll convert. Jessica, you may have to come over tomorrow and help me. I'm really computer stupid, Vincent. Some of my Zooms record. I put them on my YouTube, and some of them convert, but some of them won't upload. So I'm trying
that's a YouTube. Whenever you have a long file, like a big file to put on YouTube, it takes a long time. Sometimes it just depends on the connection. Like if you have a good connection, sometimes it'll upload really fast, and then other times it just won't even upload, and you have to totally delete it and try it again. And
yeah, that's what's been happening to me. So hopefully, I told my husband, maybe I just need a new computer. Maybe if we just bought a brand new one, maybe that would solve it.
It might help. It might help.
You never know. So, okay. Well, I know that it's 6:30 for you, right, Vincent? Is it 6:30 in Arizona?
Actually, it's 7:30.
Oh, you guys are only 1 hour behind. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because in Arizona, we don't change the clocks.
That's right.
But that means that our time changes still.
Yeah.
So yeah, normally, not normally, in the summertime where we're 2 hours behind you guys in Central, and right now everybody changed, and now we're 1 hour.
Okay. Got it. All right. Well, it looks like a few people are still coming on, but we can go ahead and get started. First of all, as you guys know, we are so lucky to have Vincent Orleck join us tonight. He is the social media genius guru with Plexus. So thank you, first of all, Vincent, for coming to help us. So
No problem. My pleasure.
And I took everybody I posted on our page, questions. And so I gave those to Vincent. You got those, right? And you're good with those. And then anything else maybe he wants to add, that the common questions that he gets, maybe he'll share that with us as well, depending on how much time he has. So
yeah, and if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. There's the little chat option in here that people can post questions to. So if those come through, I guess Ariel will just keep track of those.
Okay.
And then we can go through them if we haven't answered them already in kind of the whole regular time, then we can answer them after that.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just let you go ahead and kind of take it away if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do with Plexus, and then just go from there.
Okay. Well, like you said, my name is Vincent Orleck. I'm the social media manager for Plexus Worldwide. I've been with Plexus since February of 2014. So I've been through a couple of conventions, a couple of leaders retreats. I haven't been to Maui yet myself, so I'm hoping if I get enough points. Before Plexus, I did not have experience with network marketing other than when I was maybe 19 or 20. I sold Kirby vacuums for a day, and Costco knives. I sat through an introductory meeting, and then I left. So different type of MLM network marketing, but same idea. I've definitely learned a lot about it in the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. And being on the corporate side is obviously different than what you guys go through on a daily basis. My my whole kind of job, my purpose for existence within the company, my job function is twofold. It's number one, to help you guys with calls like these and try to put out tips and best practices and education on a lot of different things having to do with specifically social media. And the other part is to manage the corporate brand online. So if you're not aware, we have the following. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is Plexus. It's Plexus Slim, but it's the company page. Facebook.com/Plexus Slim. So I highly recommend, if you're not following it, go like it and follow it. Our second page is the Spanish page, which I don't know if a lot of people really realize we have that. But it's Plexus en Español, essentially. It's not as active as the other one, but we do maintain the opportunity calls. We have a separate Spanish opportunity call. So if you ever get any potential ambassadors or customers that speak Spanish, that could be a tool for you to use. We post that call. Emerald Ambassador BB Shadig hosts the call. So it's a totally different call than the one that Sheila does every Wednesday. They have different testimonials on there too. So that's Facebook, which most of you I know are heavily using. We do have Twitter. We have 2 accounts. One is @Plexus Worldwide. One is @Plexus Slim. If you're on Twitter, follow them. I'm on Twitter, just my name, Vincent Orleck. Feel free to check out my stuff. My stuff is very social media related, more so than Plexus, and we'll get into that. Instagram is just Plexus Worldwide. So if you're on Instagram, follow us there. Pinterest, we're on Pinterest. We have a YouTube channel, which I'm sure you guys know. Google Plus, which probably not a lot of you use, but it has some value, especially for us as a brand, for SEO purposes and just kind of an overall presence online. And then we have our company blog. And the blog, if you don't know, is plexuslearningcenter.com. It started probably just about a year ago, almost exactly. And we've really started to ramp up the content that's there. I was managing it along with all my other job duties up until about a month or 2 ago. We brought in a new employee named Alejandro, who works on our team with Chris Pike on the communications team. And Alejandro manages the blog at this point for the most part, along with a lot of the other communications. The emails that you guys get on a daily basis now with the back office updates and all that. He's been doing a lot of that. But I highly recommend you check out the blog if you haven't, because there's a lot of stuff on there that we try to tailor it to you guys. Helpful things, business related, network marketing related, social media related, product related. In fact, the other day we posted a P96 recipe. We have 1 million of them. I have 1 million of them sitting on like a piece of paper or a couple pieces of paper that we're starting to do some stuff with them. But we just posted that, and then I posted on the Facebook page. So that's all the kind of necessary stuff. That's the boring stuff. Just make sure you follow us online, and I try to keep the content. I try to change it up a little bit, which actually leads me into kind of the general way that you want to approach social media. It's not easy, to be honest. It's not an easy thing to manage these multiple channels that you may have. Even if you're just on Facebook, it's not easy to work your business necessarily and do it the right way without annoying people and not selling, having people block you, that sort of thing. It's not an easy thing. So if someone told you that's easy, I would argue that, because if you're doing it right, it takes a commitment. It takes time, and there's a strategy to it. The strategy isn't the same for everybody. It's really not. It's kind of dependent on how you use these channels how you're comfortable using them, because the last thing you want to do is really be out of your comfort zone while you're trying to relate to people and talk with them on a human to human basis, rather than a salesperson to consumer basis. You want to be natural. You should be you. Especially on something like Facebook, it's just you. I mean, if you're talking about if you have a business page as opposed to your, along with your personal profile, then yeah, I mean, the business page, you can kind of sell on there, but you should still get valuable content.
Hey, Vincent.
Yes.
Hold on one second. Hey guys, if you just joined this call, if you wouldn't mind muting yourselves, if you're on the phone or whatever, if everybody could mute so we don't have that background noise, that would be fabulous. Okay? Thank you. All right, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. I was actually going to ask you, Ariel. So let me put you on the spot. So, okay. So what do you use? And there's no right answer for this or anything. Just what do you use? Facebook, I'm sure. What do you use?
Facebook is probably what I use the majority of the time. I've also, and I've been sharing with my team, and maybe you might be able to help or tell me if I'm doing it wrong. I've also been using Instagram a lot lately. And I've been
Using
getting
what? I missed that. Using what a lot lately?
Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've actually gained an ambassador through Instagram these past 2 weeks, as well as customers. So those have been my two big ones. I use Pinterest, not a lot. I probably should. And Twitter, I have, but I don't use very often. I would say Facebook 95%. Well, Facebook 90%, and then the rest would be Instagram for sure.
Okay. So that's good. So let's talk about that, because that's a real use case, right? So you got an ambassador off of Instagram. Yes. Are you able to kind of just briefly take us through how that happened?
Yeah, I post on Instagram. I also have another business as well. I have an online clothing boutique. So it's just pretty much, I kind of make myself a brand. It's Plexus, it's my personal life, my travels. And for Plexus, I have a hashtag called #Ariel's Pink Drink, which is also my website. So she actually clicked on those and was curious about it and emailed me, and that's how that came about. And we just started chatting about Plexus. And
so that person came to you as a result of not Plexus. It was something different?
No, it was Plexus. She saw my Plexus post on Instagram. Because all hashtags. So when she clicked on the hashtag, all of my Plexus
all your posts came up.
Would come up.
And what was the post?
I don't remember what it was. I would have to ask her.
In general, when you post, what do you post on Instagram?
It might be me, just something silly like a selfie with my pink drink. It might be me with my P96. It might be a business something. I love to share the business with people. Just lots of different things. I've been doing a lot of the free shipping as well. Those little advertisements.
Okay. Is it all Plexus related?
My Plexus post? Yeah.
Well, no, just on Instagram. On Instagram.
No, it's like me, just me.
Okay.
In general.
Okay. How many of your posts are Plexus related, would you say? If you had to estimate a percentage, like what would you say?
50%.
Okay. So that's interesting. I mean, No. Like I said, there's not a wrong answer. I'm just trying to I always like to kind of hear these stories because it's a little bit all over the map. That's why there's not like one thing that I know, the network marketing, the business and our company, a lot of it, people want to replicate things, right? So with social media, that's a little difficult to do because what works for you isn't necessarily going to work for everyone else on your team, or it may work for a couple other people, but it's really about finding your own groove, because someone else, their post, maybe they only post, once every 10 posts or something, having to relate with Plexus on Instagram, but that one post was like, oh my God, it was so great. And they got all this interest off of it. So it does vary. And I know like people hate that answer. I get it. Because everybody wants like the magic formula, but there's just not. And if there was, the person who finds that out and can bring that to the public is going to be a gajillionaire, because that's the secret sauce. each person has their own secret sauce, really. You have to figure out what it is. And so it involves a little bit of time. It involves you actually being active and doing it. And when you go on Instagram, do you just post, or do you like other people's posts? Do you engage with other people?
Yeah, I
comment?
go in and like other people's posts. I mean, the same as Facebook, I go in and like their stuff and comment as well. Sure.
Do you just like other people's stuff for the purpose of trying to get them to your thing, or is it actually stuff you like?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of it's just
Good.
purely business, but some it's stuff that I actually like. So.
And that's not bad. That's not bad. The only thing I would kind of warn about is, and you guys, if you're on Instagram, you probably see this all the time, especially you guys, because there's other network marketers, but there's also other like marketers, lead generation things, and all these spam bot accounts that they have it set up automated to just go on, and if a certain hashtag is used, let's say, then this one account will go and like and comment the same comment on every single post out there that has this particular hashtag and say, great post, or it's just a way to get your attention to their account. Because if someone, especially if you don't get a lot of comments on your post, like if someone comments on your post, you're pretty high likelihood you're going to go and click on their profile and see, oh, what's up with this person? Are they a lead, or what is this? So I guess it works because there's a million of them out there, and it must be working for someone, but you can usually tell. So when you click on their profile, you'll see like all their posts are quotes, or buy these many followers, buy this many likes. Like you can tell when it's a spam type of an account or when it's real. So that's good. I mean, when you're going on and liking other people's posts, just be genuine. But I'm sure you are, just if you don't feel comfortable commenting, don't comment, just like it. Just like it, because maybe they'll see the likes too. If you're going to comment on something, like be real about it. If it's something that you're interested in, that their post is about, relate to it. If it's a post about their dog and you have the same type of dog, you'd be like, oh my God, that dog's so awesome. My dog does that same thing. And just engage on a real level is the primary thing, which is kind of a standard across all of these platforms. Okay. So how long have you been on Instagram?
I don't know, probably for sure over a year.
Have you been using it pretty heavily the
No,
whole time?
not until recently.
Okay.
I've
I was
always
just curious.
used Facebook for the majority of everything, because that has been my biggest, business, Facebook.
Okay. And I've had, I know Jules, that one in particular that a couple that just they credit really Instagram even over the last year that have got them to where they are. So Instagram is huge. If you guys aren't aware, Facebook owns Instagram. Facebook bought Instagram in like 2012 for $4 billion with a B. And it's a separate platform though. Obviously it's different. They have a totally different approach with the Instagram platform than they do on Facebook. But they own it. So just know that when you're on Instagram, you're also essentially on a Facebook property. That's why it's all tied together in the back end. Facebook owns you in that sense. If they have you on Instagram too, then yeah, they monopolize a lot of your online life. So the questions that we can kind of dive into more detail with the questions that you asked, Ariel. That first one, someone asked, besides Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Zoom, which is a little different, but we can talk about that. What are some other ways to share your business and products with others using social media? So I'll leave Zoom kind of like over here, and I'll put Facebook, Twitter, Instagram over here, and then I'll also add Pinterest, and I'll throw Google Plus in there too. But YouTube is a social media platform. So YouTube should definitely be in the conversation. I know this year in particular, the whole world of live streaming video has just exploded. Live streaming video has been around. It's been around for like 8 years, but not in the format where it's so easy to use as it is right now, because everybody has Wi-Fi, everybody has a mobile device in their hand, their phone. A lot of them have good cameras, so the quality is a lot better. And now with Meerkat was the first one this year that came out in like February. Periscope, which is Periscope and Meerkat are almost the same. There's some differences, but they do the same thing. They allow you to pick up your phone, press a button, and within a few seconds you're live streaming yourself to the world, or you're live streaming an event, whatever your camera is pointing at, to the world. And then there's a new one that's come along. Well, actually, there's an existing one with Hangouts that Google provides. There's Google Hangouts, which is kind of an alternative to Zoom. Hangouts is you would do it through Google, but it allows you to have a bunch of people in the room, as unlimited number of people watching. Like 10 people can talk and be on the chat at the same time, but unlimited number of people watching. And then that can record, and it will automatically, if it's connected to your YouTube channel, it'll automatically go to your YouTube channel if you want it to, if you want it to be public. So,
and that's Google Hangouts?
Yeah, so it's not something that you would use for like a meeting with your team necessarily for recording it, or a training call where that's kind of like information that you want to keep within your team. But if there's things that, like a meeting, an opportunity meeting or something, you can film it, you can video it with your phone and be on it that way. It's not ideal, I'll be honest. It's not, the mobile device, the mobile app is not, it's kind of clunky. For something like that, Periscope is really big. It connects to Twitter, and it's very popular, especially among ambassadors. Like, have you used it, or has your team used it?
Yeah, I'm on Periscope, as well as several of my team, my downline as well. So we use
Yep.
Well, we haven't recently, but I mean, we have, like when it came out, everybody was Periscope.
Yep. Yeah. What do you use it for?
I used it a lot when I was in Maui. I did a lot of Periscopes from there. And then,
Cool.
like, normally if I'm, like, with Celeste, I'll just throw her name out there. I do Periscope when she's with me to get, like, a little something from her. Just I'm around other Jules to do, like, a quick training or a tip of the day, something like that for my team.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. And then do you save them? Do you save the feeds?
Only the ones that are good. The other ones I just, so.
And then what do you do with them? The ones that you save?
I posted them to my team page, or I think I've actually uploaded some to my YouTube. I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Remember,
And
I'm
then
computer stupid, so this is,
you sound fine. No, you sound like you know plenty. It's totally, yeah.
No.
If you're using Periscope, you have a good idea. Periscope is really powerful. It's really powerful. I'm sure when you've done them, you've seen though there's trolls on there. There's people that just hop on to say crap and bad stuff, and you can just block them and all that. But Periscope is really an amazing tool for you guys as ambassadors to just generate awareness that you exist, that you are here. And it doesn't always have to be a Plexus thing. Like Maui, I'm sure that was amazing. And sharing that, people there's got to be an interest level. There's got to be something that's interesting to bring people in, and the title of it makes a difference. The way you title it. And a lot of times I'll use emojis in the title, because the emojis make it stand out when someone's scrolling through on the map, let's say. but it's really powerful because you can do so many different things to get people to watch. I mean, you could be somewhere and you could have nobody watching. You could have hundreds of people watching, depending on what it is. And that's what matters, is that they come on and they're exposed to you, because once they're on, then there's a chance they're going to follow you there. And then the next time when you're doing something Plexus related, then maybe that's the time when they ask about it. They ask about the business or what you're doing or something like that. I'll tell you a funny story. So I jumped on one night. This was a few months ago, and it was in the title. It was something having to do with like Ruby Ambassador. And I was like, oh, let me check this out. And I got on, and it was a girl just like kind of hanging out in her house on her couch or something, just talking to Periscope, to the feed, talking to the people on the feed about like her business and how awesome it is, and what she's gained. She's lost weight and all this. And then she's like, I forget what other company she was with, but she wasn't with Plexus. She was with a different company. And the network marketing companies, a lot of them use similar terminology to describe the ranks and levels and things. So I was like, oh, I thought you were with Plexus. I'm the social media manager there, and blah blah blah. And so like we were talking, and I mean, I'm not going to say that she became a Plexus ambassador or anything, but it's another way that now she she potentially got off that, and then within the next couple of days, maybe she was talking to her team members or talking to somebody, and or if she ended up leaving that company, maybe she remembered that someone from Plexus corporate hopped on Periscope. And so it's that general awareness and putting yourself out there, and don't be afraid to do it. That's the number one thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be on video. I don't want to be on camera. I don't know what to say. And that's okay. That's okay. Wait to have something to say. Come up with something even short. It doesn't have to be hours of Periscoping. It can be a 5-minute thing where you just go on and essentially you're creating a video of yourself. So the first time you get on there, go on and introduce yourself and who you are and what you do and company and the opportunity and all that. And now you have that piece of video that it's sitting out there for 24 hours on the replay, number one, that anyone can see it potentially. When you save it to your phone, save to your camera roll, you have it on your phone now. You can email that to someone. You can post it on your Facebook page or profile. You can post it now on, like, if you're on Twitter, you can potentially post it on Twitter. Post it to YouTube. So the more you can take that piece of content and repurpose it, now it's like in 4 different places, and that's exponentially expanding how many people are potentially going to be exposed to you and start asking you questions about what you do. So that's what a lot of it's about, that numbers game. It's the percentages and just putting your stuff out there enough where you're getting exposure enough to enough people where a certain number of them are going to ask you questions, or after a while they're potentially going to ask you questions. That's really all it is. Social media is distribution. A lot of it. It's engagement, but it's also distribution. You're distributing yourself. You're distributing yourself across all these different channels, and all these different audiences get exposed to you. So that's why it's important to be real. That's why it's important to just be yourself, because if you're one thing on one channel and then, on LinkedIn, you're something different, people notice. People know that they're too savvy now to not know when you're trying to sell them something, or when you're not being genuine, when you're not being real. People notice. They know. And they do their research, as I'm sure you guys know. They'll go and they'll click on different things and try to look you up and profiles and all that. So it just pays to be yourself and just, talk about it like you would anything. It's not, don't think of it as selling a product, as being a salesperson. And the time, you kind of have to hit it at the right time too. You can't just boom as soon as someone, friend requests you, or you're in a group that's nothing to do with Plexus and someone comments in this. That's not the time to like pounce. That's the time to talk, to have a conversation and engage. Talk about what you're in the group for. Don't even bring up Plexus. Don't even bring up the products or anything. Just communicate on a real level and about the similar topic. I can tell you this story I share a lot because I think it's really indicative of the way it can work and has worked for many people. Man, this was about a year ago now too. Jeez, time flies. Silver Star's trip came in last November, and they came in. They weren't jewels then; they're jewels now, which a lot of the Silver Stars end up being jewels. Funny enough. We were out at lunch, and I always like to kind of talk to them about how they use social media and what they do. And they actually, the two that were there, met because of a shared interest in a very niche group of like bloggers that they adopted Guatemalan children. That's a niche. There's a lot of people in that niche, but it's still a niche. That's not your everyday person. So they connected that way because they had both adopted Guatemalan children, had nothing to do with Plexus. And even like a couple months down the road, they just formed a friendship from the original other topic. And from the friendship, well, now the one that wasn't an ambassador was seeing like what was going on with the ambassador and asking her like, oh, well, what's going on with your health, with your weight loss, with your business? What is this? And now they're both jewels now. So that came from a blogging interest. It wasn't even necessarily social media. It was they blogged and they connected that way. And it was the topic of, the Guatemalan kids that they both adopted. So the outside interests, the shared outside interests can be really, really big, really important. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are, you're part of other organizations in terms of like, you have kids that play sports. So you communicate with other moms and other parents that way, or just their school, PTAs, all that type of thing. That's all key, and it doesn't mean that when you're in those groups together that you're selling product to them or constantly talking about Plexus. It just means that you're forming these relationships, and from those relationships, this other thing is going to happen potentially, but it's got to be natural,
No, absolutely.
That's my spiel on that. I don't want to talk for an hour either, Ariel.
Well, you're the one you're the one with the answers, so they hear from me all the time. So.
Well, I don't want to preach or anything. Like I put down my answers to the questions and everything. So we could just keep going through those if you want.
Well, what would be for like everybody that's on this Zoom right now? What would you recommend as the number one way to get out there? What is the number one social media outlet? Would you say it's Facebook? Is that what you would recommend to everybody, or?
Oh yeah,
Periscopes? It's doing more Periscopes.
Yeah, but it's definitely Facebook. Facebook is the king. It's got over 1 billion users. People spend hours and hours and hours on Facebook in all different ways, and especially with their phone now. The groups on Facebook have blown up in the last year and a half. I know ever since the app. Oh, so if you guys don't have the Facebook Groups app already, I highly recommend that you get that. If you just do a search for Facebook Groups in the App Store, whatever, Android or iOS, that app is killer. It allows you to it sorts your groups. You can select like favorite groups and move them into a favorites category. It shows you the notifications in that group.
So it's a different app. It's not the little blue. It's not the little Facebook. It's not the F app.
Let's see.
It's
I'll show it to you. It's not. It is different. I'm gonna show you what it looks like.
See, this is what I mean. I'm computer stupid, so I didn't know this.
No, you know what? It's okay though. So, oh man, let's see the camera. Let's see if I can get that. Kind of hard. So, it's the middle one on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that.
No, but it's
It's
called
white.
Facebook Groups.
Yeah, if you search for Facebook Groups in the App Store, there you go. That's probably better. How's that?
Okay.
In the middle on the bottom, that's what it looks like. The icon, the badge.
I'm gonna write that down. Facebook Groups.
And then it'll just ask you to connect to your Facebook. It'll ask you like if this is you, connect to your Facebook and do that. And then let's see if I can show you what I got here. Yeah. So let's see the camera picks it up here.
So those are all your different groups.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a lot. I don't go on all of them all the time, but I have these are like in my favorites up here,
Okay.
and you can scroll, and there's a bunch, right? I need to clean them out probably.
Yeah, you have a lot.
But you can see the notifications.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know if you can
Okay.
see it. See the little blue dots on the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see the Jewels of Plexus. There's a group right there.
Yeah.
And that has that's been a game changer even for me personally, because now I can just go in. I mean, the groups, there's so much activity in groups now, not just Plexus groups, but it just allows me to go bang. Okay, I see the latest notification there, but I don't have to sit through Facebook app and go through all the little things and see, okay, when I'm looking at my notifications, oh, this is from a group. Let me go click on that. And I can sort through what's important and what's not, or prioritize. So I would highly recommend, if you use groups on Facebook, if you're in groups on Facebook, get that app. It will like change the way you use Facebook, I think.
Okay.
Facebook is definitely the biggest though. Instagram is very, very popular, and rightfully so. There's a lot of spam on Instagram, like we talked about. So if you can get around that, they made some changes recently over the summer, let's say, that has allowed it to be easier to kind of search or see the trending hashtags and to discover new things. Before, it was a little tough to see what hashtags were trending at that moment. And that's important because, let's say you put up a post, or you want to go put up a post on Instagram. If you want to try to take advantage of one of those trending hashtags, which means that a lot of people are using that hashtag and they're looking at it, it's got a lot of visibility at that moment or that day. So maybe you want to create a post that is kind of involved with that hashtag. So let's see.
How do you find those trending hashtags? You just have to know, or
no? If you so when you go on Instagram, on the bottom there's the magnifying glass. When you click on the magnifying glass.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Detroit Lions. Okay.
Yep. And there's because the Lions are playing the Packers right now in the football game that's on right now. So Detroit Lions is trending. I think that NBC has The Wiz is live on TV right now. So The Wiz is also trending there.
Okay.
And then across the top, you can see, watch, it'll switch. And this is how you can discover new things. This is all, Instagram makes this. So right now it says explore trending places. So if I click on explore trending places, it's going to come up with, so these are places near me.
Oh, Boston. Mine says Boston Common.
Yeah, I have a couple near me, and then I have Boston Common, and I have Miami Beach, and I have San Jose and Baltimore. And so it's what people are talking about at the moment for the most part. And then there's other things across the top. There's shedding light on climate change that we post about the climate. The top 100 locations, 2015 in review. And it says, discover the most tagged destinations around the globe. So the first one is Disneyland, Times Square, Central Park, the Eiffel Tower, Walt Disney World, Louvre. So all those things, I mean, that's for places. That's for more like using Instagram and having fun with it. The trending tags that are in the middle there. So like an example would be if you want to take advantage of like the Detroit Lions hashtag is trending. And there's a lot of people watching football right at the moment because the game is on. It's the only game that's on right now. It's Thursday night. And so you could put up a post, let's say, hey, if you're an ambassador in Michigan or wherever, you're an ambassador, you're a Lions fan, you can go and put up a post related to the Lions, and maybe you happen to buy the Plexus Team Colors shirt over the summer in Lions colors. And here's a perfect chance to go and like, oh yeah, I bought this shirt this summer for my business, and or whatever you want to say, but related to that. And then you include that hashtag in the caption of what you say. And that's going to bring it into that feed, and who knows who sees it. I mean, it's very popular. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that potentially see it. It doesn't mean that you're going to all of a sudden start getting crazy hits on your post or anything, but you're giving yourself a shot at the very least.
Yeah, I've
So
never
again,
even looked at that page, the trending tags or any of that. So
yeah, well, and you know what? It's important too. Like if it's okay to go use it for fun. It's okay to use some of this stuff for fun and not for business all the time. So the other thing with Instagram is the video. It gives you the opportunity to put up 15 seconds of video on Instagram. And that can be in the moment where you film it right off your phone, right in that moment. Or you can film a 15-second video using your phone anytime, get one you're happy with, and then you can upload it into the post and post it whenever you want. So there's all that type of stuff that it's just, again, it takes some time. It takes some commitment if you want to do it that way and you want to really use these channels. You could use just Instagram. You could just use Facebook, your profile, and just post your everyday stuff on Facebook, not even Plexus related, and then just use Instagram for all your Plexus stuff if you wanted. And then when you post an Instagram post, you can here and there share it to Facebook with the little, when you hit the button at the end, you have the opportunity to share it directly to Facebook. Personally, whenever I do that, I don't see a ton of engagement from the posts that come directly from Instagram to Facebook. Usually I'll try to do separate. If there's something that's important that I want to have on both, which is rare, I'll do a separate post on Instagram and on Facebook. I won't share it from there. So, but I know a lot of people like to do that, and it does, it's somewhat effective. It just kind of depends on what the content is.
okay.
What else did we say? Questions.
Some of the stuff you've kind of gone over and what you've been talking about.
How about business pages and personal profiles?
Yeah, let's talk. I don't have a business page. So yeah, what is your take on all of that?
That comes up a lot. And so here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that two of, you mentioned Celeste, right? And then Jen Jen Hawkins. They're two high-profile diamond ambassadors that use social media. Myself and the two of them got on stage at convention 2 years ago and gave a 45-minute presentation about using Facebook primarily. So they used it, but even then, I think Jen has or at the time, she had a personal profile and she had a business page. Celeste didn't get a business page. She may have one now. I talked to her recently and she was like, I'm gonna get one. But I don't know how much she uses it because she never had to. Like she did it her way using her personal profile. Jen did it her way using both. I'll say this, that now, if it was me, if I'm an ambassador, I would definitely have both. Here's why. So Facebook, number one, does not like network marketing. In general, they have rules against paid advertising for network marketers. They don't let you guys as independent ambassadors run an ad that like ties back to your Plexus website. They'll reject it because their whole thing is they feel as though the business side of things should be done through a business page, as opposed to a lot of network marketers, a lot of you guys, a lot of our ambassadors use your personal profile because that's where your audience is. That's where your friends are. That's where your network is. So it makes perfect sense. Facebook has kind of been laxed on that up until about a year ago. And I don't know if, Ariel, when did you become an ambassador?
2.5 years ago.
It's been a little while. Okay. So did you, maybe not you, but any of your team or any of your friends that are ambassadors, this past January, the night before Super Saturday, there was like a ton of ambassadors that got whacked by Facebook and had their account suspended all in one night.
Yeah.
So I don't know if do you remember that at all?
I do. It wasn't really me or my team, but I do remember that happening. So
Okay. That was because Facebook, a lot of people took the graphic. We put out the convention contest graphic the night before Super Saturday. And as is the case with any of those graphics that we put out in an email blast, and we posted it to the page. But what a lot of ambassadors do is they copy and save the graphic and then paste it into their own page. And even though there's nothing wrong inherently with the graphic, they see that as a spam activity. When there's thousands of people that do that same thing, that take the same image and everyone's plastering it everywhere, it's like acting like a bot, like spam. And Facebook reads that. They see everything that happens. Even people that posted it in a direct message, in a private message, got their account suspended. So you have to be careful with that type of stuff. Tying it back to the business page, when you do stuff like that on the business page, it's not a problem because it's the business page. You know, like you can have your Plexus website listed in the website section of your business page. When you post it on your own personal profile, when you post it in a group, when you put it in a direct message, in a private message to people, Facebook sees all that, and there is a chance that they hit your account. I mean, I've seen it happen. Maybe not in the past, but in the last year or so, it's definitely happened. So that's why I'm leaning towards like recommending everyone to get a business page on Facebook. And
so do you feel like if you get a business page, and maybe this is a stupid question, do you just only post Plexus on that and you don't post Plexus anymore on your personal page, or maybe not as much Plexus on your personal page?
So I would, if it was me, which is the context I always try to put it in, I put myself in you guys' shoes. I would have a business page that I would still kind of go by that rule, or the rules that are like post a couple times a week or once a day about Plexus, let's say. I still wouldn't just slam it with Plexus. Because why, if I'm not interested in Plexus, in the products or the business, if I'm not interested and I don't even know about Plexus, like what's going to make me want to follow or like the page? That's how you have to think. You can't don't think like an ambassador or a customer that's already using the products, because that's not really who you are necessarily trying to reach with that type of a page. You're trying to reach someone that doesn't know about Plexus. You're trying to expose them to it in the right way. You're trying to like let people know that this is what it is. Maybe they've already heard of it, but they don't care yet. So you have to put yourself in their shoes of, okay, what's going to interest other people? So maybe it's content about, it's health related. It's an interesting, funny thing from that day, an article, like posting articles, sharing stuff from the company page or the blog, or from other ambassadors that is just funny, like interesting. It's all about attention. It's everyone's, especially on Facebook, everyone's fighting for everyone else's attention. So how are you going to make it stand out? There's thousands of Plexus Facebook pages, not profiles, not personal profiles, but business pages. If you do a search for Plexus on Facebook, I mean, it's crazy. It's how many pages and groups and everything comes up. And that's just the ones that are visible. So for the pages, you have to really try to stand out. You have to try to make it something interesting that, okay, I don't know what Plexus is. I'm not really interested in it. But this page, I'm going to follow this page because look at the post that they put up that I'm entertained by or I'm interested in, that I want to see that stuff in my feed. That's why they're going to like it. And then once you have them that they like the page because of that, all that other stuff, well then, once every couple days, here's a Plexus Slim. Here's what Plexus Slim does. Here's what X Factor does. Here's what Mega X can do. Whatever it is, it's like Plexus related. But it's like a soft sell. It's a soft sell because you just can't do a hard sell with Facebook at this point. It's just not going to work. You may get some low hanging fruit here and there, especially when you first start, but in general, it's going to be hard.
Okay. And then one more thing about that, like I have a page for my other business on Facebook, and I can buy ads, so more people see it. If you do that for your Plexus, is that allowed then on that as well, where you can buy like the $5 for a day or whatever?
Yeah. So there's two types of advertising, two types of paid advertising. That one that you're talking about is like you boost the post. Mm-hmm. You can do that if Facebook allows you to, because they're strict. They're strict, and they may not allow you to do it, especially if it's tying back into your website, or, they're the judge. They're the ultimate judge. It's not us, it's Facebook. And they're kind of picky when it comes to the ads. The other type of paid ad is you can do like a full-on campaign, go in the ads manager and create an ad, a new one. You can use an existing post that you already have on your page and use that as an ad. But you pay, and then you can target based on city, state, zip code, male, female, moms of grade school kids, people who have talked about certain things, friends of your already existing followers of your page. Facebook is easily the most powerful advertising tool that exists right now. It's more than TV, more than radio, more than online, Google AdWords, more than anything. It's because that's where people are. People are on Facebook. And when your post shows up and it doesn't look like an ad, it's just in their feed and they click on it, well then now the ad did what it was supposed to do. It got them in. So yeah, technically yes, you can do those. Experiment, try it out and see if they allow you to do it with certain things, maybe not with others. But certainly try it out.
Okay. All right. See, I don't have one, but I'm going to go make one tomorrow then.
A page, good. Yeah, I would recommend it, and it's not overnight. You're not going to get everyone to go and follow your page overnight, but it's certainly worth it. And then if you have that strategy about it, the content is what it's all about.
Okay. We had a couple questions on that chat section.
Yeah.
One of them, the first one, was a little while ago, and I don't even know what this means, so sorry. When will Google Analytics be back for our websites? I don't even know what that means. Sorry.
Let's see. When will Google Analytics be back for your replicated websites? Is what I'm.
I mean, you can go ahead and get off mute and talk about. I don't know what that means. Over my head.
Because we have.
Good evening, it's me with the Google Analytics. We had that. It is a very useful tool. And after the system switched over, we completely lost it because all my team had the Google, and actually we paid money for it, $9.99, to have this little spot where we can put our Google code on it to track the customers, return customers, locations, and everything. And when the switch happened, that disappeared. I keep bugging them and writing the letters that we need that back. And if you're going to help us with that, it's going to be so helpful. Because basically you can see, you know what it is, Google Analytics.
No, I do, but in terms of your guys' individual websites, I wonder if that was something that was through Sound Concepts.
I think so, because we purchased it. And we purchased it, and every member of my team had it, and we actually tracked activity on my personal store every minute.
Yep.
And then it's completely disappeared, and we need that back.
Well,
because to see how many, yes.
I was going to say, so the reason it disappeared is because Sound Concepts, with the switch, they don't manage all of the individual websites anymore. So I'll have to ask. I don't know specifically because I'm not sure if that's available with the new system. I mean, I would imagine it probably would be.
It's just a little spot where we can put the Google code in. I tend to find that, so,
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. But it's just something that with everything that's been going on, it's
I know.
But it is important. Listen, I don't disagree. We have Google Analytics. That was like one of the first things when I started.
Exactly.
I hooked up the website, like our company website, and then the blog. I mean, you have to have the Google Analytics.
You need to know what goes on in your store, who is there, and how, if everything you do for it, if it pays, if somebody comes actually and looks at it. So this is very useful tool. So I don't know. If you will be our voice for that, it's gonna be great.
I can certainly ask. Like I said, I'm not totally sure because I haven't heard anything about that, but that sounds right because it was probably something through Sound Concepts and they managed all the individual websites before. So with the new,
I mean, they can do it. They just need to put a little slot over there on the account. It's just a code, so we can put it in. And that is big because when the switch happened, I basically cannot track anything what goes on in my store. And I had a lot of customers calling me, telling me that I'm online and how to get. So using Google Analytics, you can see which page they're looking at in real time. Yep. So I can walk them through and help them. So it's very useful. Please somehow put it back.
You're preaching to the choir. I know. I believe me.
I'm writing about it a lot, and it needs to be done because I had a lot of issues with that. Also, I have an idea. I've been thinking, and I think everyone here gonna be happy with that. Why we cannot come up with Plexus gift card? I want to have a Plexus gift card because when I want to do the gift to someone, I can use my money and purchase this gift card and send it out. So basically, the money we're gonna go back to Plexus.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's something that would
This is
it
ideas.
would tie into the.
Help
Oh yeah,
us. Help
we-
you.
yeah. It's so again, it's something that ties into the back office, to the individual back office.
Management. Yes.
And I mean,
Oh,
there's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of that stuff that's out there right now. That is maybe, you know, it's on the list of things. It's a long
I know,
list.
it's
And
all right.
remember, Vincent's social media. That's what he does. So
I know, but you know what? He's from corporate and he's our voice right now. This is why I'm using him.
Yeah, and I've heard the gift card thing. I've absolutely heard that's something that people have brought up, and I know it's on their radar. It's been discussed and everything, and it's just one of those things that it's on the list, but there's like a lot of things. We want to make sure that the shipping and everything else gets squared away first too. But it's on the list of things that have been talked about and people have brought up a lot, especially this time of year. Obviously, like holidays, people are looking for that type of stuff. So I'm definitely aware that people want that for sure.
awesome. Okay, we have another question on the chat section.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see if I can try and find the original. Where is it? Okay, so when you were talking about the business page, how do you lead people to that page? Just invite everybody, or how does that work?
Yeah. So when you first create the page, there's in the initial steps when you're creating the page, at one point it'll ask you to invite. Do you want to invite everybody you know, or just select certain people? So you go through. That's the initial way. Then I would say usually what I recommend is, like, say on a monthly basis, you share your page to all your friends and you say, hey, did you guys know I have a business page here on Facebook? Follow me there. Just really, simple stuff. Once a month, just not to bother people, but enough where it's like, hey, here it is. If you're my friend, you should go follow it. And I'm putting up cool stuff there. The other thing though is, if you're serious about the page, and like I mean it, if you aren't posting and using it, then don't do this. But really don't market it, because if someone goes to a page and the last post was 6 months ago, how do you feel when you see that? Like you're like, I'm not gonna like that page. I'm not gonna even follow it. But market it. If it's a tool for you, if you use it, put it on your business cards.
And you think this is a good idea? You're a 100% for the business page.
In addition to your personal profile, I am.
Okay.
I am, just because of I feel like the way things are headed with Facebook, it feels like it's going to get worse for you guys in terms of trying to pitch and sell things and do that type of stuff on your personal profile. I think it's only going to get more of a crackdown as people try to do it, because there's so many people trying to do it. And now that we have kind of a higher profile, it feels like that happens more. I would highly suggest it. And it's another, so here's the other thing with the business page that's pretty important. Your personal profile gives you no real analytics. So when you put up a post, it'll tell you, oh, it got, this many people liked it, this many people commented, this many people shared, and it'll tell you the reach. It'll tell me how many news feeds, how many people saw it. With the business page, you get way more analytics. It's called insights. There's a little tab at the top of the page, and it'll tell you, like, when your followers are most likely to be online. It'll tell you the ages, the demographics, the locations. You can look at who the followers are specifically. And then with the ads, you can only run an ad with a business page. You can't run an ad with a personal profile. So if you're planning on doing any type of Facebook ad, it has to be tied to a business page.
Okay. And then somebody just commented as well that goes along with this. Until you have a good following on the business page, do you recommend to still post on your personal page along with the business page until your followers build up?
Nope. I would from the first moment you create the page, first of all, go into it with some sort of a plan.
Okay.
Have some sort of strategy. It doesn't mean that you have to post 50 times a day or anything like that, but just have a plan of, okay, once a day or once every couple days, I'm going to post, this Monday is going to post about this. Tuesdays I'm going to post about this. Wednesday, and so on. And maintain that, keep up with that. There's tools that exist, just aside from using the app on your phone, of which there's a Facebook Pages app specifically on your phone that's different.
I have that app.
You do? Okay, good. Because that one's big. That I use that one for ours all the time, and for my other pages and stuff too. But specifically for the Plexus page, I use that heavily. The insights are on there too. If you've seen them on there, I would treat it as the moment you create the page, know what you're gonna do, and treat it as though you have 1 million followers from like the first minute, because it's gonna be very difficult to all of a sudden switch it up once you have people following. And the other thing is, if you're not treating it that way from the beginning, no one's going to follow you. No one's going to follow the page. They're not going to like the page. So approach it that way from the beginning. You'll get a few likes depending on your network. I mean, you'll get a few people that like the page, even if it's just out of pity from your friends. Like I do that all the time. My friends will start a page and I'll be like, well, yeah, I'll go like it. Who cares? I'm liking a page. What's the big deal? To support them. But yeah, I would treat it as though you have essentially 1 million followers from like your first post.
Okay.
And put up a good quality like cover photo, and the profile photo should be, actually this is a good point. Don't use the logo for Plexus, because you can't, with compliance and stuff, you can't represent the company as though you're the company. So the profile logo or the profile picture should be maybe a different picture of you than what your profile picture is on your personal profile. Maybe it's a picture of you in Plexus gear, so that it's obvious what it is.
Okay.
And the other important thing I should mention is the name of the page. You can use the word Plexus, but you can't use Plexus Slim or Plexus Worldwide or any of the product names. So you can say Plexus. There's a lot of people that do Plexus REO Post or Plexus like with their name or something. I mean, come up with a cute name. Come up with an interesting, clever, funny name. That's okay to do.
Okay. Sorry, I'm taking these notes down on my phone. So. Okay. Perfect. What else? I'm trying to think. Does anybody else have any questions while we have them on here that they want to ask? Oh, ask them about trending.
About trending. Who was that? Jessica? Does Jessica want to get on and ask? Because there's different types of trending. So
unmute yourself, Jessica. Unmute.
No, I was just saying, is there a way for us to like, and I don't know if it's allowed, but I was thinking on Instagram, if like, I don't know if it can come from corporate, if it'd have to be us under organizing it together where we all do it at the same time and trend.
I wish it was that easy.
Okay. Well, because I know there's algorithms, and scientifically, I think it's a span of like a few days, and they kind of look at the math.
Yeah, you know what though? It depends, because they're like, for Instagram, it's like when we're just looking at the trending hashtags.
Right.
it was Detroit Lions, and that's been on for maybe like an hour or two now. And that's definitely because of the football game.
Right.
Last year during Super Saturday, I was actually going back and looking at the posts and creating some new stuff for this year. It was trending on Facebook.
Oh,
about
wow.
Super Saturday. Yeah, well, everyone was using the hashtag SuperSat 2015, and it was trending. And let me explain the trending on Facebook at that time. The whole world wasn't seeing that. It was trending within all of our networks because we were all posting it in our Facebook posts. So that's still a good thing. Excuse me, and that's still a big deal because our networks are humongous. Like my network, I have a lot of it is, or probably about half of it now is ambassadors as far as my friends on Facebook. But that's 1,500 people. Like everyone has like the average is 350 friends that people have on Facebook at this point. So say minimum 300. If every ambassador that attended Super Saturday and others that are not even there but are following it have 300 friends, that's like thousands of people that have at least 300 friends or more that their networks were seeing that hashtag trend and seeing posts and stuff. So it was still a big deal, especially for you guys. If you're, a lot of your marketing is you're marketing to your friends and your connections that you already have. So the trending thing, the whole viral aspect, I get that a lot. It's not, unfortunately, it's like not that easy. It's just, even if a bunch of us or all of us started to do something, it would have to be like a specific term or a specific hashtag. There's things that happen over a couple days that end up trending, especially with Facebook. With their trending is different than like Twitter. Twitter's is again, Twitter can trend with just like 1,000 tweets, but because it's in my network, I see it on this list of trending things. Instagram, there's so many people using so many hashtags on there that for something to be trending, it does have to be really significant. I would say that the hashtag for Super Saturday this year is almost the same as last year. It's just 2016. It's SuperSat 2016. So we're looking at probably 10 to 12,000 attendees across the country for Super Saturday. If everyone's using that hashtag on Instagram, I think that would do something. I think that would potentially show up, especially the way that they have the hashtags now that they're listed across the middle there. There's a lot.
Well, I also read that if you have like two hashtags and a lot of people use those two same exact hashtags, that's a lot of the way that you get to trend as well. That's what I read. I don't know. I don't believe everything I read, though.
No, that could be true. That the trending stuff is like, there's a lot of different kind of factors that go into it.
Yeah.
As it's not just okay, this many people at this at this time are all doing this. That's a big part of it. So that could definitely be something. I haven't seen that myself, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sometimes there's like those little kind of tricks that will affect it like that.
Okay.
But then they change it.
Yeah.
Change it like within a week, and that's not working anymore.
I just thought it would be cool if we could try and break Instagram and trend.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for trying that. Whenever we do a hashtag, like a convention, let's say, it was trending in Phoenix.
That's cool.
The hashtag, yeah, the one plexus. It will trend to some extent. It's just, it's not going to be like Jimmy Fallon seeing that it's trending or something.
Awesome.
Well, good question. That was good. Yeah, I get about the hashtags a lot and the viral stuff and trending and all that.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Okay. I don't know, anything else you think that we need to go over? I feel like we did a lot. I'm really excited about the business page because I'm pretty sure none of us have done that. So I'm excited for us to explore with that. Oh, Evie has something. What? Oh, she has a business page. Evie's got a business. The one that was
Yep.
asking about the Google stuff that I have no idea what she was talking about.
I would the other thing, not to throw too much at you guys in one shot here, but I'm always a big fan. I mentioned it before about blogs, about having a blog and blogging. I'm a huge proponent of that because that's like you have your own site. It's not your Plexus website. It's not really tied to your Plexus website, and it's not social media. It's you have a domain that you go and you go to GoDaddy.com and you find a domain, you pay for a domain. You set up a WordPress site and you start blogging, or there's other platforms too. There's other places you can do it, but blogging puts you out there in the search in Google for content. So if what's a hobby of yours, Ariel?
A hobby?
Yeah, like what else? What do you do? Like, what are you interested in besides doing your Plexus business?
Well, like I said, I'm really into fashion, so that's another one, and I love to travel. So
okay, so those are huge. Those are huge topics for bloggers. Like there's
I have a blog. I just don't use it. So
okay.
I need to start. It's www.arielpost.com. So
okay, you got your name. Good, perfect. There's so many people interested in travel and in fashion, and if you're going on there, Facebook, you're already blogging because Facebook is a blog. Just so you guys know that Facebook is a blog. It's just you're just posting like content. You're writing stuff about your life or about your views or whatever. But instead of doing it on your own website, you're doing it on Facebook's platform, where they control everything. That's all theirs. They can shut you down. They can do whatever. They control how many people see it, all that stuff. Whereas with your own website, it's you're not renting. You own that real estate, and you can hook up Google Analytics to that and track like the traffic, and you can see all the different types of people, where they're visiting your site from, like where do they live, all that information. It's free. It's all free. It's hugely important. That's why I'm totally on board with what Evie said. Is like the Google Analytics thing is a big deal. So if you have your own website, your own blog site, it's hugely important. And then when you're writing about that stuff, the potential to connect to other people is there. Whereas it's not Facebook, where Facebook you're connected to your friends. That's who you're connected. That's your network. So how many times they're gonna hear about the same stuff all the time? Certainly you guys are interested in each other's lives, but if you can now go onto your own website and you can talk about the stuff you're interested in, and other people can do a search result, a Google search, and you come up in a search result, whereas you're never connected to them any other way. But now they go to your website and they're like, oh, this person, Ariel, writes awesome stuff about traveling. I'm gonna subscribe, or I'm gonna make sure I bookmark this website, or I'm gonna go find her because Ariel has her Facebook page link there, and now they're gonna go follow her Facebook page, and now she's communicating with that person directly. So it's like it's all ties together. And again, it takes time. It takes commitment to it, but if you can do it, it's worth it in the long run. It's totally worth it in the long run. Because you're gonna get found. People are gonna find you online, and it's not gonna be for Plexus, but then it's gonna lead to your Plexus business potentially.
Okay. It's just time consuming, but yeah, it's worth it.
It can be. It's less time consuming now than it ever has been, because think about it. Like Facebook, when you go on Facebook, every post you write isn't like 1,000 words, right? It's you do a status update. You can do that on your blog page. It doesn't do that on your blog page. Put a little status update and a picture. Go on the app. If you have a blog and you use WordPress, there's an app on your phone. You can update your blog on your phone just like you do Facebook. And then that goes on your website. It's out there. So it takes getting used to, because everyone's so used to like, okay, Facebook, boom, done, picture, in, video. It's so easy. The other stuff takes some getting used to, but it can be worth it for sure.
Awesome. Okie dokie. Anybody else? I know I'm losing some of you here, so I know it's getting late.
Everyone's sick of hearing about Facebook and social media.
See, I love social media. I could talk about it all night long.
I could too.
Awesome. Well, I guess what I could do too is if anybody has any questions, I can always email them to you or get in contact with you through Facebook, and then
yeah, of course,
as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Hold on, we have another. Oh no, good. No, okay, people are just.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was.
Yeah, I can see them. You're welcome. My pleasure. I like doing these calls because hopefully it helps.
Yeah, it was fun having you. You're our first person from corporate, so.
I'm honored.
See, corporate's not scary. Look how awesome he was. So.
Oh, geez, no. No, we're not scary. Believe me.
Awesome. Okie dokie. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. So thank you so much, Vincent. Thanks for you guys for being on. Like you said, if you have any questions, get them to me, and then I'll get them to him. So. Yeah,
thanks for having me. And it doesn't just mean like right after this. If you guys ever have questions, you can always feel free to like email Ariel, or my email is socialmedia@plexusworldwide.com for my like social media emails. Use that if anything comes up, you have a question about anything, feel free to shoot me an email.
Evie, you can keep on top of him with that Google analytical stuff, whatever you were talking about. So
send me a reminder. I know what she's talking about. Like I said, I'll ask. I honestly don't know where it is on the list of priorities right at this second, but it's something that if we can do it, if we still can do it with the new system, I would want it if I were you guys. I would definitely want it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so very much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. I'm honored to have been on, and don't forget to go read the blog. We got a lot of good stuff on there, plexuslearningcenter.com, and follow the Facebook page at Plexus Slim, facebook.com/Plexus Slim, and Instagram and all that if you can.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye, guys.